You know spring is coming when Vincent's Coffee is back. Time to taste some lovely coffee from one of my favourite families in the world. My name is Steve Layton, and I travel the world finding amazing and delicious coffee for you to drink at home. Some make coffee difficult to understand and complicated, but here it's my job to make it easy and fun and tell you what's in my mug. So we've had this coffee in the past and we've loved it, and we have this coffee now and we still love it. It is a glimmering story of hope in Bolivia. So a few years ago, we had the original lot from various smallholder farmers near to the town of Copacabana, which lies around about 180 kilometres from La Paz in the heart of Carinavi coffee producing region. And this coffee was one of the coffees in there that we've managed to kind of pull out as a single producer from the area. And his name is Vincent Paye. I can't help but think that this guy is like the future of specialty coffee in Bolivia. He's part of the Sol de Mana project, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about later. But basically, he is part of a program where he learns about coffee growing, and he's part of a replanting regime that I think is really important. Carinavi is a super lush, fertile region, very big slopes, very big valleys, absolutely perfect conditions for growing specialty coffee. Very, very natural, so there's a wide and diverse range of native fauna and flora, rich volcanic soils, very regular rainfall. I know I've got caught in it many, many times. And Copacabana has a collection of small farms all around there, which is very around about size, but normally 5 hectares, although Vincent does have 10 hectares. And the farms range from 1,300 to 1,600 metres above sea level. Average temperatures are about 15 to 26 degrees, so 15 in the lowest season, 26 in the warmer seasons. And this is just like perfect kind of conditions for growing coffee. The farm uses no chemicals, no pesticides, are certified organic, although we don't hold that organic certification because, well, we don't really need it, but maybe we will at some point in the future. And the harvest runs from May to September, peaking around about June, July. All of the cherries are hand-picked, all hand-picked by the family, and only when they're fully ripe. And then they're delivered to a mill, which is Buena Vista, which is in Carinavi town, which is run by our exporting partners. They take over then, and they make sure that they pulp the cherries, dry the seeds. It's all done mechanically with depulpers, and it takes around about 9 days for that coffee to dry until it's ready for export. So I shared a copy of my book with each of the producers who featured in it. You can still buy the book if you haven't yet, but I thought I'd share this picture with you that you can see on the screen now of when I gave it to the Paye family. The whole family were blown away that they would feature in a book from the UK. And these pages in this book will give you a far better insight into each of the producers' stories than I ever do on In My Mug. So it's been a while now, and I thought, maybe it's time to give you a voucher. So if you use the code INMYMUGBOOK, no spaces in it, on the screen now as you can see, this will get you 20% off one of my proudest moments in coffee. In other news, I've actually started writing another book, and I'll keep you updated here on how that's going. Maybe more info in future episodes because I don't want to commit to anything just yet. But a little different to this one, hopefully a little bit more educational than storytelling. So Carinavi province is one of the 20 provinces of the Bolivian La Paz department, and is situated in the department's eastern parts. The province was created by Law 1401, don't ask me why I know that, in December 1992, from a portion that used to be the northern Yungas province. I'm going to show you on a map now so you can see that location. It's at the end of the old Death Road. At least Carico is at the end, and then you've got a little bit more of a drive, which is a neighbouring town. And up until the early 2000s, that was the only way to get there, was going down that Death Road. Even now, once you get past that Death Road, the bypass is still being extended to Carinavi. And they're building tunnels through mountains and widening the thin, dangerous roads, which make getting to Caranavi, which is only really like 90 kilometres from La Paz, can be up to a 7-8 hour journey sometimes. And during the day, they close the road while they're doing all of these works, so you can only really do it at night. When you've got sheer drops in a car, that's not fun. Okay, so we'll dive in. This week, my Voodoo Donuts mug. Made a few appearances here, but it's always good to get it out. It has a hole through it, look. I can see you. It's not funny, is it? Right, so let's dive into this cup. So, very texture driven. We've had a few texture drivens recently, but this is one that is creamy, it is sweet, it is thick, but it's a little bit more complex than that. I get a little bit of like red apple, a little bit of walnut, and yet again, more walnut. But I do get some peach, and in the aftertaste, it just kind of carries on to this very clean, very juicy and fruity peach aftertaste. A very, very special coffee, and from a very, very special family. I can't rave about them enough. They are all wonderful, wonderful people, and I can't wait to go and see them again in the summer. Okay, thank you for joining me. It's my pleasure to see you here. It would make me even happier if you'll come back next week. But in the meantime, do remember, life is too short for bad coffee.